please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hello and welcome to Your Stocks. I'm Nigel D'Souza. With me is Ekta Batra, and good to see we're almost through with today's trading session. In fact, we're holding in the green. The Nifty is up close to around 30 points. We have the Nifty Bank, well, it's doing a relative underperformance, but at least it's holding in the green, and the mid caps as well, holding with gains of around 0.3%, and more number of stocks, Ekta, that are advancing in comparison to the number of stocks declining. So the crisscross lines should come up for you on the screen.
Yes, absolutely, Nigel. Good afternoon. Well, for the advanced decline ratio, just see the kind of fight that both those lines have had throughout the trading session. It's been a crisscross for both of them, with the advances exceeding the declines and vice versa. So currently it stands at around 1,030 stocks advancing to around 997 stocks declining. So we're just about at an even keel kind of ratio at this point in time, 1:1. So let's see what happens with that. But nonetheless, quite stable in terms of a trading session as compared to what we've seen in earlier trading sessions as of now. So the mid-cap index also up around 0.3.
India's premier IT body NASSCOM meets guidance for FY18 and pegs a growth rate of around 7 to 9% in exports and around 10 to around 12% growth in domestic revenues for FY19. CNBC TV18's Krtika Saxena caught up with the MD and CEO of Mindtree with regard to his outlook for FY19. Let's hear him out.
I think we are ending 2018 on a very, very positive note. You've seen our results for the last couple of quarters, both in terms of order wins and in terms of some of the new projects we are delivering to customers is very, very strong. So we also agree that 2019 will be a better year. Will be a better year.
Okay. 7 to 9%, will Mindtree be able to cross that? You have been crossing industry. I know you don't give guidance specifically, but you have been crossing industry average growth rates, which would be 7 to 9%. Would you be able to cross that? Would that be the aspiration?
Oh, absolutely. So our aspiration is to grow faster than industry, and like you said, we've been living up to that expectation over the last few years. And if all goes well, hopefully we should do better than 7 to 9 next year also.
Acquisitions, you have been doing niche acquisitions, but why haven't we seen Mindtree do big bang acquisition, perhaps see that scale come in revenues?
Because we don't believe in that thesis. I think in today's day and age, for customers who deal with us, don't deal with us because of our size. So whether I'm 17,000 people or 34,000 people is going to make no difference to the customer. Whether I'm 900 million revenues this year to whatever number next year doesn't make a difference. They are looking for capability. So we took that positioning to be expertise-led and backed by culture. That is difficult to retain by doing acquisitions. Okay. So we took the value proposition, believed it internally, resonating with customers, so we want to stay true to that value proposition and not confuse ourselves or confuse our customers.
You're almost touching the $1 billion target, correct?
Hopefully soon.
So when? How soon?
Should see, let's see, this year, like I said.
Will FY19 be the year of the $1 billion?
Hopefully.
Mindtree $1 billion target also has been on for the last 5 years now.
That is true.
I ask in every NASSCOM.
That is true. So it is an aspiration. We want to get there. Globally, if you look at startups and you see only 2,000 companies reach $1 billion in revenue.
Absolutely.
If 2,000 companies start on a given day, only 1 in 2,000 reaches $1 billion. So we want to get there, but we want to get there in good shape, because that $1 billion mark is one milestone on the journey to be 2 billion. 2 billion is on a milestone to be 4 billion. So we want to get there in good shape.
But it's around the corner.
It's around the corner, and I am very impatient. I want to get there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay, well, that is definitely a positive. Mindtree coming in there looking to beat the NASSCOM guidance in FY19. For the Nifty, we're up around 0.25%. We're up around 25 odd points. And for the Sensex, we're up a little over 100 points at this point in time. Well, a lot of these broader market stocks are doing well. So something like a Titan should come up for you. It's not doing too badly, up around 4 odd % currently for Titan at the high point of the day. This entire week, that stock actually just for these two trading sessions is up around 4 odd %. We have other stocks, say something like a Fortis, which has had a very, very choppy session. roller coaster kind of trade today. So that stock is up around 4%. You can see that on the intraday chart. And something like even a Nectar Life Sciences, which has gained around 5%. Watch out for something like Arvind as well, not doing too badly for that stock. So that stock too is up around 3.5%. In fact, a couple of these hospital stocks separately seem to be showing some amount of traction. Shalby, for example, relatively newer listing, that stock is up around 3.6%. But joining us this afternoon, we have Sharmila Joshi on the fundamentals and Rajat Bose to answer all of your technical queries. Sharmila as well as Rajat, good afternoon. Well, let's get going in terms of the first question that we have. We have Harsh who calls us from Assam with a question. He has investments in Ambuja Cements. Hi Harsh.
हेलो
हाँ, आपका सवाल?
हाँ जी मैम, मेरा अंबुजा सीमेंट का 30 शेयर्स था, बाइंग प्राइस 272, लॉन्ग टर्म यूज है, अभी क्या करना चाहिए?
अच्छा, सो हाउ आप कितनी देर के लिए होल्ड कर सकते हो जब आप लॉन्ग टर्म बोल रहे हो?
हाँ, मैं 6 मंथ तक और होल्ड कर सकता हूँ.
ओके, ऑलराइट. So what would you recommend, Sharmila, for the next 6 months or in terms of holding on Ambuja?
पहले तो मुझे लगता है कि 6 महीना थोड़ा कम है, आपको थोड़ा लंबा इससे नज़रिया अगर आप 1 साल का रख सके तो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा. और आज नतीजे ज़रूर देखिए, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से जिस तरह के सीमेंट कंपनीज़ के नतीजे आए हैं और जिस तरह से ये अब जब हम अंबुजा देखते हैं तो ACC के साथ के जो उनका होने वाला मर्जर है वो भी ध्यान में रखते हुए, और ये भी चीज़ ध्यान में रखते हुए कि आगे चलकर अगर हम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में स्पेंडिंग और बढ़ेगी, इस तरह की उम्मीद रखें ये साल के लिए, तो काफ़ी एक सीमेंट काफ़ी एक अच्छा सेक्टर उभर कर आया है. तो इन सब चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए आई थिंक कि आपको you should continue to hold on to Ambuja Cement.
Okay, all right, continue to hold on to Ambuja Cement is the call that's coming in there from Sharmila. But Rajat, coming across to you, I think by now we should be getting the numbers, because the meeting started around 10:30 odd. I don't know whether they've gone in for a prolonged coffee break or something, but we'll wait by for those numbers. Should look good on a low base. Rajat, on the charts at least you can tell us, right? How's it looking?
The charts, from a short-term point of view, there would be resistance between 262 and 266. If after the results it manages to sustain above 266, then you can expect it to go above, say, even 270, 275 kind of levels. But otherwise, suppose if it were to fail to cross that zone between 262 and 266, it would be worth his while to actually seek an exit from these levels. And if he is willing to hold, as Sharmila suggested, in that case put a stop loss below 245 on closing price basis. But for a typical short-term investor, if that zone is not cleared, then there is no movement in the short term on the upside.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Ambuja, and we will be waiting by for the numbers.
Let's get straight to a story that we have right now. A dedicated industrial policy implementation cell is likely to be set up under DIPP. We now have Ritupurna Boyan who's joining in to fill us in with all those details. Ritu, over to you.
The government is getting ready to implement the industrial policy, the third thing, independence, and towards that end, the DIPP will be setting up a industrial policy implementation cell. Similar implementation cells will also be encouraged in states, and a dashboard will also be developed to track implementation of the policy. As far as financing mechanism for SMEs is concerned, we understand that the industrial policy talks about Exim Bank being empowered to raise global capital to support domestic industry, and also a formalization of P2P lending to provide financing for SMEs. That will also be encouraged in the industrial policy. On cluster model of industrialization, the industrial policy, we understand, encourages ready-made factories for sectors like electronics, pharma, and data centers in industrial clusters. Another interesting proposal within the industrial policy, we understand, is encouraging affordable power for industries, and towards that end, the industrial policy will encourage DISCOMs revived under Uday scheme to list in stock markets. Last but not the least, the industrial policy also talks about tweaking many labor laws, including creating new categories of employment, like one called independent employee, which will be basically a hybrid between full-time employees and independent contractors. We understand that this industrial policy is likely to be approved and will be implemented in the next couple of months. So that is back to you.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Ritu, for that. So let's get in another query now. However, we have Altaf Sheikh, who writes to us from Aurangabad, who holds 400 shares of NCC at 84.7 or 85 rupees since the past 7 months. Short-term investor wants to know whether to hold or sell that particular stock. Stock is currently up around 0.5%. I know it's a short-term call, but Sharmila, I wanted your views on it in any case, considering the kind of run-up that we've seen on it.
Absolutely, he's I think very fortunate to have bought it at a really great price, and I think just as to extend the same logic that I use for Ambuja Cement to NCC, if you are expecting the growth to come into infra and the spend is expected to be in this sector, then it stands to reason that a company like NCC also should be held for the longer term. I think, fortunate enough to have bought it at a good price, probably when, they spoke of all that Bharatmala project, etc. Because I think, the kind of outlay that you're talking for highways and the spend that we're talking for highways over the next couple of years makes it a very good idea to be invested in such stocks. So for me, NCC would be a hold at this level, but of course, as you said, the outlook is slightly longer term.
Okay, all right. Keep an eye out on the markets. Actually, there is some resistance coming in at higher levels, it seems, and that's why every time we go towards the 10,415 odd mark, we are seeing some selling. Innocent Bank should be the stock that you should be looking at. Well, that one has come off the high point. I think the other one that we're looking at is Axis Bank as well. So the Nifty Bank has been a relative underperformer today, and a couple of these stocks, Axis Bank as well, should come up for you. As well as moving lower.
Well, for the markets, just want to point out a couple of stocks. Biocon should come up for you. That stock is trending a little weak in today's trade, so do watch out for that. It's down, in fact, at the low point of the day. It's lost 5% this week already, so that stock is down around 2.6%. Some news on Indigo. It's moved to the Supreme Court versus the Delhi High Court order on shifting operations to T2 from T1 at the Delhi airport. So that's some incremental news coming in at this point. But let's get in another query now, and do watch out for a couple of these stocks, even such as Voltas, Muthoot Finance, Just Dial, all of them which are trending lower as we speak. But Bhagya Dayal has written to us from Nagpur, holds 105 shares of Indiabulls Housing Finance at 1200 since the past 1 year, long-term investor, and wants to know whether to hold or sell that stock. First, just a quick chart check, Rajat, on Indiabulls Housing Finance. Where do you think the prospects lie, say, just based on the kind of moves that we've seen for that one?
See, regarding Indiabulls Housing Finance, if you look at the chart, you will see that there was a good upswing for several months, and after that it has gone through a correction. Now trying to scale up once again. So its uptrend, long-term uptrend is intact. Now, because of the market volatility, it is showing some kind of a consolidation. So I would suggest that put a stop loss below 1150, where the 200-day moving average is located, and hold on to it, because there is a possibility that once it crosses 1250 and sustains thereabout, it can actually head higher to about 1380 to 1400 levels. So it's a hold.
Okay, all right. I think we have completely run out of time on the show. So thanks so much, Rajat, as well as Sharmila, for coming down and, in fact, answering all the queries. Well, at least this afternoon, we're ending the show with the Nifty trading in the green. So we'll wrap up. You do remember to keep sending us all your queries